today, and I'm rejoined by General Paul Vallely. And General Vallely, thank you so much for being here in the studio. Boy, a lot of commentary about those agreements, not all of it good. Tell us from your standpoint, where do you think we are with China from a military standpoint and what the president is trying to accomplish there?
Well, listen, we have a very lightweight president up against some professionals in China, just as Putin in Russia. And if you notice the body language there of the Chinese, it's a mythological, almost phony issue to bring up as this climate change to the Chinese, since they're the biggest polluters in the world. So they're going to shake their heads and shake hands and say that, oh, this is just wonderful, as they continue to build one of the strongest military forces in the world, and especially their expansion of their naval fleets. And then the new aircraft they have were just a copy of our aircraft. So a lot of technological thievery going on continually, cyber terrorism. So I would not let the illusion that we've got a really great agreement with China and we're going to go forward and be great friends. I think that's very naive.
We want to move right now to immigration. It's such a hot button issue. Obviously, climate change, the president could act on that unilaterally with executive action, but right now the buzz is about the executive action on immigration. Some of your thoughts. You obviously have been, really working on this issue.
Well, I think the key issue here again is border security, not only the southern border but Canadian border, plus our airports are basically the borders as well. So the problems that are created by allowing this flow or executive order to approve this amnesty, so to speak, a road to citizenship, totally is an effort by this administration to really influence, I think, the political side of things. Because remember, President Obama, he doesn't look at realities. He looks through the lens of a political type of a spectrum, and that's not good. So I'm really worried if it's an executive order, it's going to create a lot of chaos, and Congress has got to take action, maybe to shut the spigot off. Don't fund it. So we got some problems ahead if he takes an executive order to do this.
Do you think, you mentioned politics behind this being the driving force, do you think right now that the Democrats are trying to set up something to get more Hispanics on board for the 2016 election? Because that seemed like one of the things where they were missing in these midterm elections is getting out that Hispanic vote.
Well, no, that's true, absolutely. But it's all political. When I was in Egypt with General al-Sisi, he said, the American government, everything is politics. He said, we have to look through the lens of reality. And that's the key word, and that's what I'm afraid our leaders in Washington aren't looking at the realities of the world, the situation, and dealing with them in a common sense approach. And that worries me more than anything, and also puts us really at quite a deep risk in America.
You talked about body language with the Chinese leaders. A lot of people are examining that body language with Russian President, the president and Vladimir Putin meeting at the APEC summit. What were your thoughts on that? It seemed like they had some interactions between the two of them. What did you think with the president staring down Putin?
Well, I don't think he really stared him down. I mean, if you look, he's looking down, he's looking away, and Putin's not looking either. The body language was not good, and when you pick up on that, I think both China and Russia, they see us as a very weak government right now, and a declining government as far as
of them are meeting at the APEC summit. And then as far as regionally, we have right now discussions of Russia's bombers conducting regular patrols ranging from the Arctic to the Gulf of Mexico. Another provocative act by Russia. Your thoughts on that?
Well, we do the same thing as we go offshore too. You may remember the P-3 Orion that went down off of China as we were reconnoitering that area. But it's a cat and mouse game, and it's reconnaissance, intelligence gathering, and Putin right now is pushing the envelope as much as he can into NATO airspace, and he'll continue to do it because he knows he can get away with it.
Mikhail Gorbachev is saying we may be entering a new Cold War. Do you think that's a little much, or do you agree?
Well, I think it's more than cold. I think it's lukewarm, because it's getting serious. And especially when you look at cyber terrorism going on out there today. You look at Putin supporting Assad, supporting Iran in a lot of ways. You have China, which gets a lot of oil from Iran. It's a big chessboard out there. And we're not serious players anymore, but the Russians and Chinese are. And that's the danger, and that's a threat to national security of the United States.
General Vallely, we really appreciate you being on set with us. Some fascinating viewpoints from you this morning. Thank you again for being here and all that you do for our country, too.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that. General Paul Vallely joining us right here on America's Forum. Stay with us. When we come back, want to weigh in or participate in the discussion, just make sure you hit us on Twitter or Facebook. We'll be right back.